right, for our last call this week on the Heal with Kat show, we have a question from Molly in Birmingham, Alabama. She says, I'm a mom, a wife, and I work full time. I spend so much of my energy taking care of everyone else, but then I end up resentful, exhausted, and disconnected from my own needs. Part of me feels guilty for even wanting more space for myself, like it would make me selfish. How do I start untangling this caregiver role without abandoning the people I love? And yes, I took your quiz. Molly, love that you took the quiz. The Cycle Breaker quiz is an amazing tool that y'all can take for free. We'll link it in the show notes below. It helps you understand your role in your family system, the strengths, the challenges, and how to transform it. Because I know that most people that take the quiz usually identify as black sheep, and y'all are caregivers. So I'm very, very excited to help you answer this question because I am a fellow caregiver. So I feel like I can really help you navigate some of this. So the question that I'm hearing is, I spend so much energy caring for everyone else. How do I untangle this without abandoning the people that I love? The motto of every caregiver: tattoo this on our forehead, because somewhere in our childhood, we got the message that when we care for other people and we perform that way, that we're good girls or we're good boys, and that's where we get our love and connection from. And there is so much more to you, Molly, outside of being a caregiver that I would love to know, because that's just one part of you. I think that the challenge with caregivers is that we get so much from being of service to others. Like I have a love-hate relationship with being a caregiver because I love doing things for people. It makes me feel good, and I know that it makes other people feel good. Like, I'm not being a caregiver for me in a sense, but also there is a little part of me of the caregiver role who is like, yeah, but also like it makes me feel good to be needed, because that is how I was celebrated and cherished as a child, was when I did things for other people, when I made other people happy. So I want to validate what I believe I'm hearing is guilt. And I'd be curious to know if you feel the same way. You can always comment below or resubmit a question and come on live with me next week. But I'm hearing a little bit of guilt. And I'm going to speak on behalf of a woman. I know that you're a woman as well. And as women, so many of us feel selfish for even thinking about our needs. It's societal, it's generational, it's traditional roles in a family system that date back for thousands of years. Men have this role, women have this role. And in today's world, there's so much going on. Like, men and women are playing like 80 different roles when like our bodies were created to have maybe like 5. So when we stop being able to meet everybody's needs, including our own, then there's this pattern of guilt. And from the ancestral perspective, what I would be curious about is, are you replaying a caregiver role that's been inherited generation after generation after generation? And why? Also, intuitively, what's coming up, look at immigration trauma in your family. If you had a woman in your family who was forced into a role where they immigrated to a new country and the husband went before them and the mom was stuck with 8 kids somewhere, and and then it was like, then here's the crazy part about ancestral healing is that this mother is now only solely responsible for these 8 children, and then the oldest daughter potentially becomes parentified, and then she has to take care of everyone, and she puts herself aside, and then we see how the pattern continues. So it's not always the same thing, THING, that gets passed down. Oftentimes it's the same theme, THEME. So if we look at it from that ancestral perspective, overgiving can come from stepping out of our rightful place in the family system, right? So like, people start inheriting roles that are not theirs. Children don't get to be children, adults aren't being adults, and the roles are reversed. But I want to explore that guilt more. I want to kind of see if you would be open to maybe thanking that guilt in a way, because there's something about the guilt that might be protecting you from something. It's partly intuitive, but it feels like we're just scratching the surface of something here. When we guilt ourselves for having guilt, we just perpetuate the cycle of guilt. I feel so guilty that I'm so guilty. It's like that saying, like, I'm tired of being so tired, It's like, just builds on each other. But what if we brought a new perspective into the guilt? So, like, there's many parts to the guilt, right? So, one part is maybe it's ancestral, but maybe the guilt is also serving as a protective mechanism for you. And I'd be curious to hear what that is. Or maybe it's a coping mechanism or a survival mechanism. And what I would really want to know is what is the story from your childhood where you inherited the guilt and instead of stopping at you, it's just continuing. And the beautiful part about breaking cycles is that even if we perpetuate a cycle we inherited for 35, 45 years, we still have the choice every day to say, and here's where it stops. Like, first of all, we don't have the capacity to break cycles as children. Like, we just don't. It's usually in our adulthood where we're challenged to look at the cycles we inherited and be like, oh, I want to do this differently. And then that's where the journey begins. And if somebody made you feel guilty for having needs, then we need to look at that. Not only from the childhood perspective, but I would want to know if your partner is maybe perpetuating a pattern of guilt. Like if your partner is like, well, I work so much and I need this or that. And it's like, whoa, like, okay, first of all, step one, we cannot pour from a well that never refills. Like there's nothing left for anyone, but you are the most important person that needs to come first. And totally, if you're cringing right now, like I'm cringing with you because I feel like I'm repeating this like thing that everybody says, but it's so true. Because as a fellow caregiver, like I ran myself into 3 different autoimmune diseases, giving and giving and giving and giving. And then I felt like a victim because I was like, I give and nobody gives to me. And it's like, well, give to yourself. And so I think that's like just, we're talking surface level here because I mean, all of these questions are phenomenal. But like we can only go so deep when it's just me talking to myself, right? Like I would want to be talking to you about this so we can really get into it. But like you need to schedule time in your day for you. And if that means waking up 10 minutes earlier and meditating for 10 minutes, if that is enough to refill your cup, that is 10 minutes, beautiful 10 minutes of guilt-free boundaries and rebalancing your energy emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. For me, I love waking up in the morning. I put my red light on and I get on my vibrating plate literally at like 6 a.m. because Tyler wakes up really early to go to the gym. And I just like use those 10 minutes to breathe. I'll listen to some like chakra music or like whatever, even if it's placebo. I don't care. It's 10 minutes for me to breathe and feel connected to my body before I get into my day. We all have 24 hours in a day. And we'll spend 8 of those, 5 to 8 of those sleeping, although sleep is like the foundation of healthy well-being. But then we'll spend like 8 or 9 of those working. So that really leaves us not a lot of time for ourselves, but 10 minutes is something so small that you can give to yourself. And just those 10 minutes alone will create such a shift. And I recommend doing meditation because it really does shift your energy and it shifts your nervous system that your kids will start to notice. Maybe you're a little bit more relaxed, easier to connect with. Maybe your partner will start recognizing the same. But most importantly, you will have more confidence in your day to show up and start with 10 minutes. So if you normally wake up at 7 a.m., set an alarm for 6:45. Give yourself 5 minutes to press snooze again or go to the bathroom or get out of bed and then pop in those AirPods or whatever. My favorite meditations to do in the morning or even at night is this woman named Lisa Beachy on YouTube. It's Lisa Beachy. She has this 10-minute energy cleansing meditation. I literally do it every day. I'll do it when I'm on like the Normatec machine at the gym or I'll do it before bed. And again, even if it's a freaking placebo, just the practice of it alone is going to rebalance you completely. Now, imagine you did that every single day and you built that feeling of I have guilt-free boundaries when I take care of myself. I put myself first, and you begin to rebalance your energy. It's in the direct practice and lived experience of that routine where you will start to build more confidence that choosing yourself isn't about abandoning others. It's about modeling wholeness. You can sit here all day and tell yourself you're going to do something, and you can tell yourself these are the benefits, but until you start actually living it, you're not going to believe yourself. And that's why taking action is so important. So, so, so important. I mean, it's kind of the same thing of like when people come to me for intuitive readings and I'm like giving them intuitive guidance and I'm like, okay, here's what I'm feeling, this, blah, blah, blah. Like, just because I tell you, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's going to happen. You actually have to get up and do the things that are being suggested. It's not from me, I'm the channel, but like it's coming from somewhere, obviously, your guides or the universe or whatever you want to believe that it is. But like the universe responds to grounded action. And your body, which is this beautiful collection of the universe in this physical form, will also do the same. That's the spiritual take on it. So I'm going to address that childhood part again too. Go back into your childhood with, you can come do it with me with FCT. You can do it in a reading with someone. You can do it in therapy. You can do it in EMDR. You can do it with a friend. You can do it in your journal. All we are looking for is awareness. So you can have someone guide you through that awareness, or you can try to do it yourself. That's really all that we're doing here in this practice is what is the awareness you have around when you started to inherit the caretaker role and the guilt with it, and just understand. Let's just say it happened at 10 years old. I want you to talk to that 10-year-old and understand, like, what does she have to say? Have we ever given her space to say, fuck all of this? I hate this. I literally don't like where I live and I don't like like, have we ever given her a voice? So give her the voice without guilt to be like, fuck this, and not at anybody. So we're not like harming other people in this process and we're not harming ourselves. But you can be in a contained space, either alone or with a trusted guide or healer or therapist, where you can make space for that voice to be like, fuck this. Like, I don't want to do this. And then what's the interesting thing about when we're healing like guilt or like healing really anything, when we start giving our body and our inner child and our nervous system a voice, is sometimes we might want to like swing on the spectrum of like caregiver to like rebel. And like you may feel that at times. And it may like happen in a day and it may happen over a year. But like we want to find this kind of like median place where the inner child in you gets opportunities to be the rebel and like go out and have fun and like have a voice in a way that's not harmful to yourself or others, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And we also want to make room for that inner child who maybe learned to love the caretaking, doting on people and buying someone a little gift that makes you think of them, but do it from a place of, I want to do this, not I feel like I have to do this in order to make people happy and love me. That's the difference. So, Molly, call back, submit another question, come back to the show, and we can keep chatting about this. And if you're somebody who has resonated with any of the questions that we went over today, any of the submissions, if you're like, I feel that and I have a question, there's one place you can submit. It's catdow.com/ask, ASK. We're going to link it in the show notes below. Make sure you're subscribed to my email newsletter. You can do that on my website as well. And we'll be sending out emails when we plan on recording again. I love the submitted questions, but I also want to get deeper. So don't hesitate to call in. We'll take care of the logistics. All you got to do is just submit a question.